Come all young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow, ye winds, westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes.
All right, our next hand on deck is George Wilson. George was born in Scotland into a well-established fishing family on the northeast coast. He fished over 20 years on the North Sea for cod, haddock, monkfish, and squid. He also spent 2 seasons set netting in Uganic Bay on Kodiak Island. You can also find his watercolors, which are displayed at the Imogen Gallery right here in downtown Astoria. So let's give a warm welcome to George Wilson.
Hello. Okay, so I've been observing a lot of fisher poets, and it seems to me one of the keys to success is having a heartfelt and humorous introduction. So, taking that into consideration, here's my first piece. I'm not going to do an introduction. Facts of life, 1, engineers. Engineers wipe their oily hands on rags. They smoke slim menthol cigars. They roll greasy roll-ups from oily tobacco tins. They smell of sweat, and their sweat smells sweetly of rum. They gamble on horses and bet on accumulators that almost, but not quite, beat the odds. They lean over top rails, observing outlet cooling pipes, and drink steaming cups of tea in humid galleys. They sleep with their mouths open in bunks above skippers' bunks, at the bottom of ladders and pledge-scented cabins. They are ready for anything, some of the time. They bathe in hydraulic fluid. They are masters of grease gunnery, lubricating hanging blocks, rollers, and cranes, and setting them in states of perpetual motion that defy and disregard the laws of physics. They descend ladders into engine rooms slowly. They ascend ladders from engine rooms miraculously, without touching handrails or rungs, in shafts of light borne by angels, cherubs strewing rose petals before them. They slap brand new gloves on rails, pond boards, hatch covers on their way forward to haul. They say it stretches the gloves, makes them more comfortable. They say it really works. They tie up winch handles when heaving back, glance interestedly into forepeaks, then walk aft to galleys, chat to cooks, collect fresh cups of tea, then wander forward, slapping gloves on metal again. Running out to fishing grounds in early hours before weather gusting gale force, boats rolling and lurching, gunnel to gunnel, decks awash, scupper doors clanking. They attempt to climb into bunks above skippers' bunks, but are thrown bodily across cabins, splitting heads on seat lockers and drawing blood that tastes like engine oil. In cold dawns, they numbly operate cranes, swinging trawls overboard among hosts of kittiwakes and fulmars and gannets. They dump engine room trash cans. Empty half bottles clink and glug on the swell. They are legendary soccer players, youthful and athletic in faded photographs. They stand on concrete piers accompanied by grandsons and tap on the temple and say in Scottish, "It's my heed," indicating inside tumours and cancers. They are driven to crematoria. They combust prodigiously. They ascend ladders from engine rooms miraculously without touching handrails or rungs and shafts of light borne by angels, cherubs strewing rose petals before them. They say it really works. Okay, that's the first one. So there was a call went out on Channel 16 this year for more poetry, so I'm going to do 2 short poems and then I'm going to do a prose piece. This one's called Preparing to Leave. And it's, I don't know if you know Robert Burns, the poet, the famous Scottish poet, the backbone of Scotland, the heart of Scotland, the lower regions of Scotland. In the introduction to his first collection of poems, it says, "Poems and songs chiefly in the vernacular." Well, these next 2 are chiefly in the vernacular. Preparing to leave. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Dog the hatches, mark things techt, or you'll regret it when she starts to lift. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Lush down the net and heave the doors, watch fading lights fae golden shores. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Take off your gear and draw in a breath. She's rolling new, the swell aneth. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Mark your tay and climb up the trap. See for the skipper's mind is at. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. You've made your bed, no lie in it. The words that haunt me every trip. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Let her go and stow the ropes. Okay. Thank you. This next one's called Boat Cooks. I was a boat cook for 6 years, and I was possibly the grumpiest boat cook in the fleet. Okay, boat cooks. I've been a cook, I've seen it out, but fit I ken without a doubt is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. I've peeled the turkeys in a gale, I've washed the dishes in a pail, but fit I ken without a fail is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. I've chased the eggs around the pan, I've made lasagna out the sechte lan. But fit I ken without a plan is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. I've bleached the cloots, I've scrubbed the fleer, I've been doing this for near 20 years, but fit I ken and I will make clear is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. I've stowed my gear and stashed the stores, I've heised my breeks and hove techt the doors, but fit I ken frae this day for is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. I've made the breakfast and called the watch, I've iced the fish and closed the hatch, but I'm sure o, with true dispatch is, och man, boat cooks are grumpy o. Friar, mince and tatties, Lord, set them aside and hear my word. This matter I have long explored. Och man, boat cooks are grumpy-o. Grumpy-o, grumpy-o. Och man, boat cooks are grumpy-o. Thank you. Okay, so this next piece is a prose piece. It explains itself. It's called The Har and the Old Red Sandstone, a fairy tale. Har, spelled H-A-A-R, Hotel Alpha Alpha Romeo, is a Scottish word for a particular sea fog which occurs between April and September on the east coast. Meteorologically speaking, it is what happens when relatively warmer, moist air passes over the surface of the cold North Sea and condenses. It is then blown or drawn by convection currents to shore, where it blankets the coast in an eerie, chilly, reality-altering ether. To experience it is to feel that it is alive. It scrambles over the cliffs and sea crags and creeps up the grassy braes. It fills the sea caves and slides through the great rock arches named the Bow Fiddle and Whale's Moo, which are the most prominent landmarks of the headland where my village, Pornocky, sits above the North Sea. It muffles the sound of the breakers crashing on the shore and dampens down the cries of the gulls, kittiwakes, fulmars and guillemots nesting in rookeries by the sea caves on the old red sandstone cliffs. Geologically so old that they don't contain any fossilized life. Think of that, older than life itself. The Har and the Old Red Sandstone are well acquainted, or weel acquaint, as we say. What is the passing of time to the Old Red Sandstone and the Har as they embrace in their soft caress once more? There must have been a first time this happened. Will there be a last? There is a graveyard to the west of the village, atop, as they say in fairy tales, atop the cliff. When the Har rolls in, it becomes a half-obscure theatrical set of granite headstones and marble monoliths, markers for the dead. Now dry-iced by the Har. Crows perch on the headstones, curlews call from the shore, larks, confused by the fog, still spiral up into the heavens, searching for the sun. The old people said, and it's a curious fact that people are born old in Pornocky. The old people said, well, in truth, my great Auntie Jeannie said that when the Har rolls in, you might see on the path, on the cliff above the shore, that you might catch a glimpse of the ancestors. Taking a stroll, a perambulation through the veil of the Har. Because magic happens when the old red sandstone kisses the Har. You see that all folk, the ancestors, they like it to stretch their legs after sic a long lie doon, my great Auntie Jeannie said. Then she cackled like crones always do in fairy tales. And if you walked back to the harbour through the village, past bed sheets pegged on lines strung between poles to dry atop the cliff, to the house where my great Aunt Jeannie lived, then maybe, just maybe, you could see through the Har the great fleet of sailboats, christened Zulus at their conception and construction in the time of the Zulu Wars. 100 boats crammed into that tiny harbour, their 9-man crews readying them for the upcoming Yarmouth herring season. Legendary sailing craft, 80 feet long with a huge mainmast of Norwegian spruce, so big around, the old people said, that you couldn't encompass it with your arms. So tall, the old people said, that when the har rolled in, you couldn't see the top. And maybe, just maybe, if you were in Uganik Bay on Kodiak Island at the time of a salmon closure and observed the har creep along Uganik Island, then slip across the pass and slide up the bay on the incoming tide and roll smokily between and over and through the alders and birches and cottonwoods of the village islands, then you might just catch a glimpse of Wendy tending her garden or picking salmon berries or raspberries on the brae. And you might just catch a glimpse of the tall, lean frame of Harvey mending nets in the bite, his long fingers cinching down on knots between the whorls. And if har ever rode up the Long Island Sound and over the Block Island and up into Point Judith, then maybe, just maybe, through the veil you might see a tall, broad-shouldered, slightly hunched figure tuning a bouzouki and laughing at his own jokes. And if that's you and you did see John Campbell, then say hello from me. For it is true that what the old people say, that when the har kisses the old red sandstone, magic happens. Everything is altered. Nothing remains the same. Time stands still. Time collapses. All times mingle in the har. Har. H-A-A-R. Hotel Alpha Alpha Romeo. Okay, thank you.
The fire burns bright in the farmhouse fireplace. Closing the logbook, you start to sing. Fishing boats are iced in, snow outside calls me. It's a red late afternoon, I hear a church bell.